Welcome to our podcast. Our names are Angelina Stamboli.
And Michaela Davis.
And this is our podcast, Houseless U. We're going to be talking about Westchester University and the intense housing crisis the university is dealing with. Why is this happening, and what should the university be doing to help and prevent this in the future?
To help us talk about this issue, we have two guests joining us today, Ashley Johnston and Faith Slode. Hey guys!
Hi!
So imagine this. You just got into the college you wanted most, Westchester. What is the first thing on your mind now that you're in?
I think one of my first thoughts would be of course, where I'm living and who I'm living with.
Yeah, definitely. Where is the housing application?
Of course. Definitely wanting to know how many roommates I'll have, what the living situation looks like.
Which building?
Yes.
Which building will I get?
How close it is to the classes I'll be taking.
Yeah.
Right. Everything about college is super exciting, and that should be what you're thinking about. But you shouldn't have to be worried about the fact that you just got here and almost immediately in the fall semester, you have to start thinking about where you will live next year and who you'll be living with. You should be able to enjoy the time that you're experiencing as a new freshman, making friends and getting to enjoy socialization. And someone once told me that the spring semester is when people show their true colors, and it has been so true for me through my whole college career so far. And I would have been miserable if I chose to live with my freshman year roommate like I originally hoped to.
Choosing who to live with so soon after you get here, especially as soon as you're in the fall semester, is very daunting and scary, and it's not realistic and doesn't always work. It's a rare instance that it does. And then even if you do know who you'll live with, there's not even a guarantee that you'll be able to get housing altogether. So Ashley and Faith, what was your experience so far at Westchester with getting on-campus housing, whether it was when you first got here or more recently?
When I first got here, I honestly didn't do the whole, I know everyone's on a Facebook page or an Instagram page, and everyone's trying to get roommates that way, and I was just so busy over the summer I didn't take the time to find a roommate, so I just went the random route, and I got lucky at first, but then things just did not end up lasting. But by the time things got where we weren't getting along, she was already talking about living next year with each other, and I wasn't even sure I wanted to stay at Westchester because it's a big commitment to know if this is what I want, especially coming in. I didn't know if I'd be here next year yet, just still trying to get grounded. Then I got another roommate my next semester after that, and it was just another bad situation. So and even coming here, I didn't know that I would have to be doing my housing for next year. So I just didn't pick to get a dorm because I did so last minute that I was forced to get a house or an apartment off campus, which I got lucky with, but it's still just not very budget friendly. But not everyone's lucky to find a place like I did, especially as close as it is.
From my experience, my freshman year going into my sophomore year, obviously the second that housing application came out, I applied immediately for traditional housing, and everybody knows that traditional housing is not first come first serve, and that it is randomized, which side note should not be a thing.
No.
So even though I was one of the first people to apply for housing, I was waitlisted, and I had to start thinking of other options like off-campus stuff and possibly commuting, even though I don't live in Pennsylvania, which would be absolutely tragic.
Over an hour.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
And the tolls on the bridge,
that's
crazy. Give me that reimbursement.
I also had to look at possibly commuting.
Yeah.
I got a place 2 months before school. It was so last minute.
Yeah, I literally got accepted so last minute, and I just went with random roommates. Thankfully, the placement and I got placed on South, which at the time I was like, I hate this, I hate being on South, but I like it now. And then for this year, I applied for USH, which at the time it was first come first serve, so I did get picked since I jumped on that the second it came out. I was supposed because they make you pick people so early in the first semester, so I picked 3 friends originally, and I'm no longer friends with either of them. So, and I was supposed to be living with them this year.
Yep.
Kayla knew all about that.
Yep.
I was supposed to be living with them this year. 2 of the 3 dropped out of Westchester, so it kind of screwed me over for this year. So now I live with 2 randoms. One person took the spot of one girl, but I also am not friends with her anymore, even though she lives with me. Kind of awkward, so I'm hoping for a better housing situation next year. Prayers.
I'm very similar to with, I got screwed over where my roommate dropped out before the first month was over this semester when I was actually in a house, and it's a 2-bedroom, and we've tried getting different people in there, but just with awkward situations, like people already have housing, or like different people fall through for their own reasons. I basically spent my entire 2 semesters, first semester and this semester, living alone, which is not what I signed up for, and just like having to argue back and forth on like her not wanting to pay things when she's still technically in the lease. So
That's awful.
and it definitely like it's not like the university can help with that because it's off campus, but it's just something I wouldn't have to deal with if there was a good amount of housing for as many students as that they take in every year. So it's very difficult.
And then obviously there's so many like nuances that the school doesn't like consider, like just from like hearing you guys tell us that, like I wouldn't even have thought about that, like not paying for any of the lease, like
Right.
when you're already signed.
Right. When I applied for housing at the end of my freshman year, the girls I applied with, we got lucky enough to get an apartment, but we were originally assigned to live with 2 random guys, men. One of us was sharing a room with them.
Like no.
Like, are you kidding me?
Like, that is such a mistake.
Sharing a room?
Come on now.
Exactly. And we called housing and they were like, oh, you're lucky you even got an apartment. You were the second to last group to even get one. And that was on the 3rd day of signups, not even, and it goes for 5 days. And we were like the second to last group to even get housing. And then they eventually did switch us over and like figure it all out. But it's not fun to see who you're assigned to live with and have it be 2 guys. Like, are you joking? I can't share a bathroom, 1 bathroom and a bedroom with a dude.
It's very like, even like for the price of it all, it's not even like it's affordable. It's
No.
even, like when you can't be in dorms, like for me when that wasn't an option because they weren't accepting me because they already were over capacity. Even like any type of place you find in town, even if it's the campus apartments, they're so expensive. It's not like they're anything that like I can afford, especially like it's crazy like amounts of money to put down on a place just to be renting. It's a lot of girls or like just people in general have their parents help them, but like not everyone gets that, so I don't get that. So like having friends that want to tour places, I'm like, I just can't afford this because it's what the one place is $1,300 a month,
Which is crazy.
which is insane.
And a lot of people don't have their parents helping them. And even if they do, that's still so much money for a place you're not permanently living at.
Yeah, my sister's at Temple.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't get much help, which is understandable because my parents have their own mortgage and other siblings I have. But yeah, even like my sister at Temple, she gets her lease. It's like 1/3 as much as mine, and it's like insane. It's twice as nice of a place. My place looks like a little shack, but it like I still could live there, but it's still just like we're spending 3 times as much for it to be not even a half as nice. It's just ridiculous. It's crazy, especially when she's in Philly. Yeah.
Right.
I honestly have a crazy story that I just remembered. So my South Campus apartment the day I was supposed to move in, me and my roommate arrived and there was roaches in the
No,
kitchen.
in South
Oh, actually, I had that happen too.
Roaches.
Yep.
And my mom and her mom tried to like fight to get us moved, and they would not move us.
Mm-hmm.
And they
don't
ended
care.
up moving us to the emergency department. So like, it really comes to show that they have the room. They're just trying to leave wiggle room space.
You've been through everything. The flood. Ashley's
I know.
been through it.
Oh, yeah, my
Like,
freshman year, my dorm flooded.
Yeah.
Every year it's something.
the alarm.
Ocean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wait, really?
And it's something new every year.
So obtaining housing obviously on campus is not enough. There are not enough beds. There are biohazards, as we've heard. Yet the school and the prices, there's just so many endless issues. But the school continues to overadmit students, and to everyone's surprise, this led to the university creating temporary trailers,
Crazy.
catalyzing another WCU hot topic by limiting further parking for commuters by building trailers next to M-Lot.
So for next week, we will continue talking about this, and we will talk more about the off-campus housing and how many places don't even rent to students and how it's hard to afford. Thank you guys.
Thank you.